Back once again for another episode of Snug Wrestling to go over Monday Night Raw. And this week, we're heading to Saturday night's main event. We're getting ready for Royal Rumble. They're finally starting to announce who's going to be in the Rumble. Like everyone and their mamas declared themselves for the Royal Rumble on this episode of Raw. We're going to be going over that. We're going to be going over the major announcements, the main event with the hometown hero Finn Bálor, because they were in Ireland this week, right? He faced CM Punk. We saw a crazy six-man tag team match. And to help me go over the Monday Night Raw for the day of tonight, Mr. Blood, Tommy, and Toxic. Welcome, fellas. How's everything?
Pretty good, man. We said this before. I'll say it again. Though the European tour can be absolutely abysmal for like just viewing pleasure, if you're in the United States, because their times are just fucking all over the place. I gotta say, man, it's nice to see crowds every week that are always alive and always grateful for the show in front of them. Because in the U.S., we're such an oversaturated market. It feels like we kind of take it for granted. And tonight, man, Ireland, Belfast might have been, in my opinion, maybe the best crowd so far on this tour the last 2 weeks. They were great for every fucking match. They were in it the whole night. The main event, man. I mean, I saw a girl in the front or when the camera panned were crying when CM Punk came out, literally crying. And I was like, damn, bro, y'all love wrestling and I'm here for it. Great night tonight. Great show tonight. I'd say unanimously around, except for the unfortunate Javon Evans thing we'll get into. But other than that, man, yeah, great night for Monday Night Raw.
Which is crazy to think about. The people were crying over CM Punk because CM Punk was technically like how he put it in sports reference. He was the away team. He was like getting booed for most of the match, and there's a lot of people that were still happy to see Punk there, which is cool. Tommy, how about you? Or no, Toxic. How about you, man? Did you enjoy this Raw tonight?
I completely forgot that Raw was early, so I almost missed it. I got in the thing 5 minutes before it started. I'm like, okay, good. I didn't miss it. But Raw was really amazing. I don't know why, but just every there's every show, like every other show in the European tour that has a great crowd. Everything's perfect in there in the show, but there's just that one thing that has to fuck it up.
I loved Raw. Overall, there was one thing that I'm still a bit iffy with because I'm not fully sure how I feel about how tonight ended and the end of that main event, but we'll definitely get to that later. And I will say my reasons why there.
All right. Well, it was announced earlier by Adam Pearce that Gunther was going to start off the show, and he did. I was wondering what the hell Gunther was going to say after what happened last week, where technically Gunther tapped to AJ Styles. The referee didn't see it, and Gunther beat AJ Styles last week. So Gunther comes out and he declares himself for the Royal Rumble. He's racking up these wins, and he's like, "Yo, like my mind is still set on the World Heavyweight Champion, and I'm on my way there. I'm doing pretty good. I'm pretty soon I'll be back in that title picture." Okay, cool. But then AJ Styles interrupts Gunther, and he challenges Gunther for a match at Royal Rumble right after Gunther declared himself for the Rumble, which Gunther ain't no dummy. He's like, "Yo, did you not just hear what I just said, AJ? Get the wax out of your ears. I'm gonna be in the Rumble. You want me to do double duty? How about no? Unless you put up your career on the line, and then maybe I will accept this match at the Royal Rumble." So AJ Styles had a lot to think about. You want a match with Gunther? You got to put your career on the line. And what a way to hype up the Rumble and kick off the show. Pretty interesting stuff here, I thought. But what you guys think?
First and foremost, I'd like to say how stupid I think it is that people have to declare themselves for the fucking Royal Rumble. Like, dude, we know everybody on the roster. We know what it is every year. Anybody who's not in a already predetermined title match, or like a already called title match, like, hey, there's going to be the World Heavyweight Championship defended and the Undisputed title is going to be defended. Maybe the Intercontinental title will be defended. Maybe the U.S. will have an open chat. Like, anybody who's not in that, you already know you're in the fucking Rumble. It's like, why do we need to do this whole, I'm declaring myself for a thing that I was already going to be in? There's like fucking 40 fucking men or 45 men on the Raw roster, okay? And out of those 45, like 8 of them are injured. And a bunch of them are just not even booked because they're never on the show anyway. So obviously, you're going to have a couple of guest spots, couple of pop returns, maybe 1 or 2 NXT and some TNA guys, and then everybody else is in the bitch. So like, I could probably count on my hand 25 of the people in that Rumble right now that I already know are in it. And then like 5 spots that are going to be like, here's 1 or 2 TNA, 1 or 2 AEW, and 1 surprise return. Like, why on earth do we need to do that? I think it's a waste of time just filling up segments for for no reason at all. But when it comes to the AJ Styles and the Gunther thing, really surprised. I think we talked about this before, that they're doing this early. We know that AJ said he did not want to wrestle past his 50th birthday. He did not want to wrestle into his 50s. But it's the beginning of the year. And I'm like, the Rumble's really where you want to put AJ's career on the line? I feel like the career that AJ Styles has had should be like Mania. Like, if he goes out, the man, after 25 fucking years, earned a chance to go out in front of the absolute largest crowd physically possible that they can put on this year. To me, that's Mania. So to have it here, one's got to think, if you're doing the career stip, I feel like AJ kind of has to win, because how lackluster, in my opinion, to be like, hey, by the way, career on the line in a week and a half. Like, oh, that's what we're doing now? Just that quick, huh? Like, even when Sean went out, like, they built that bitch up for like 2.5 months. When Rick went out, they built it up for half a year. So, like, I'm like, AJ, really? So I'm hoping it's not going to be just automatically retired. I'm sure the match will be phenomenal. I'm hoping there's some shenanigans that prolongs AJ further toward Mania, and then maybe they can run it back there. Run it back there. I'm hoping they can prolong this to Mania, and then maybe they can run it back there.
Okay, so I did find the whole declaring yourself in the Rumble thing, but then I had to think, why would they actually do this? And it would probably be to like get a sneak peek, like get to know who could like appear in the Rumble, just so people would want to know if they want to watch it or not. Well, obviously they're going to watch it no matter who's in it. With the whole Gunther and AJ thing, I found it kind of stupid that you want to do it at Rumble. But I mean, I realized that AJ's kind of been in here in WWE for a decade. So, and he first showed up at the Rumble. So if you want to have him go out, why not do it at the Rumble? I mean, I personally don't want that to happen. I fully agree with Blood, but I mean, it would make sense to me. Oh, and also Flood Gunther.
Honestly, don't blame you there, Tox. But yeah, I completely agree that this absolutely should have been at Mania. Like, as Blood said, Rick, like 2 months. Shawn Michaels, like 2.5 months. Triple H still had a while. John Cena had literally all of last year just as a lead up to his final match in December. Why the fuck are we doing this with AJ right now? This is a situation where if he doesn't win, why the fuck was this here? Because this absolutely should have happened later on in the year. I would not have done it at the end of January whatsoever. I absolutely would have put this at WrestleMania or even further down the line.
Yeah, I mean, for one, I'm pretty pumped for this, man, because last week when they had their first match, I was kind of like, yeah, it was a good match, but I wasn't really too thrilled about it. I wasn't too excited because there wasn't really high stakes or really, oh shit, what if AJ loses? It was just a match, and now they're giving us something, to look forward to even more. I don't want to like ruin it for myself and be like, well, AJ Styles has to win. I want him to win. I don't want to see him retire just yet. But I think for a stage like Royal Rumble, something like this that's coming up pretty soon, I think it's a great stipulation. It adds a lot of excitement to it. They're gonna have a good match. I'm really looking forward to this. I mean, I just kind of want to like enjoy the ride, if that makes sense. Just see how it plays out.
I'm on the same boat. I want to enjoy the ride too. Again, the match is going to be great, regardless of the fact that I think it's way too soon. If this is how AJ goes out, I bet it'll be his best match yet. But still, it's just that whole feeling of, well, Rumble is at the end of the month. Dude, just wait 2 months and 18 days and we're at Mania. So I'm like, why rush it to here? So that's the only reason I feel that way. It's more of a bitterness, if I'm being honest, because I've met AJ Styles. I watched him wrestle so many times in person at TNA. So I feel like I've grown up with his career. So when I see that, I'm like, oh, come on, man. Like, he deserves to go out with, we gave like Goldberg a whole call your spot thing. Like John Cena got a whole fucking year. Ric Flair got like 6-month storyline. Freaking Shawn got to go back-to-back years with the Undertaker. And let's not forget, AJ Styles retired the Undertaker. He had his last match. Like, look at that resume. So we're going to end his career at the Rumble, which is an entire pay-per-view predicated on setting up WrestleMania. So why not hopefully use this as just a setup for where he really ends his career at WrestleMania? That's what I'm hoping, because I think he deserves it. I think he's earned a Mania goodbye. 25 years being the face of one other company that is now their partner. The amount of matches and goodwill and credibility this guy's had in both tenureships in TNA, WWE, New Japan, everywhere. Rumble just seems like it's not befitting of an end to his career. And I'm hoping that, look, if he does retire, let's just say next weekend he's done. One would think maybe he's the second inductee into the Hall of Fame this year behind Stephanie McMahon.
It kind of feels like a punishment to us for having it this early, because of the fact that ever since, I believe a little bit after Goldberg, people were like, hey, look, there's that. The stuff came out for him being Cena's last match. That ended up happening. And now it kind of feels like, hey, look, the fan base is saying that it's going to end up being Gunther. Why not we do it as early as humanly possible? Like, that's just kind of what it feels like to me.
Well, we'll talk more about this match when we do like Rumble predictions. What is it, like next week or something like that? But yeah, AJ Styles has had a long, successful career. We don't know if this is actually going to be his last match, right? But yeah, some people would say, oh, he deserves a better retirement. Yeah, maybe at WrestleMania. But John Cena had a farewell tour, but his final match wasn't at a WrestleMania. His was a Saturday Night's Main Event. So it's like, does it really matter where this retirement match for AJ Styles is going to be? What if they do it in TNA? I don't think it really matters where it is, as long as it's like how they do it, not where they do it, but how they do it.
You make a fair point. I'll give you that. Because Goldberg and John both at Saturday night's main event.
All right, this next match, Mr. Blood. How should we go about this? All right, look, okay. I'm gonna let you set this one up because Mama told me if you ain't got nothing nice to say, then don't say nothing. So I'm gonna let you guys start off because you guys are gonna be more positive about this than I am. And then at the end, I'm going to tell you guys what I saw because I know it's completely different from what you guys saw. So, Mr. Blood, if you could do the honors for this next match, please start this one off.
All right, so we have the opening match of the night, Maxine Dupree versus Becky Lynch in her home country of Ireland. Now, she's from Dublin. They were in Belfast, but she got a hero's welcome. Maxine Dupree coming back to try and regain the Intercontinental Championship that, well, Becky Lynch stole off her a couple weeks ago by holding the ropes and cheating in front of the ref. Now, Maxine comes down to the ring with a returning Natalya. Now, unfortunately, the moment that I saw Natalya coming down, my first thought, I looked at my wife and said, I guarantee you she's turning on Maxine. I called it, I said, because why else is Natalya here? We dusted this 43-year-old woman off the shelf for her biannual fucking, show and tell. Hey, remember me? I work here. And then here she was at ringside, dolling it all up and cheering for Maxine, which only made it more evident that she was going to be factored into the finish. These two had a match. They went back and forth. Tonight, there was no crooked referee for Becky Lynch to cry about. There was no Jessica Carr. There was no, sneak finish. It came down to a matchup one-on-one. In my opinion, this match, much better than their last match. I hadn't realized these two, according to Michael Cole, have faced 6 times. So when it came down to it, I've actually enjoyed 5 of these 6 matches. I was not a big fan of their last match. I thought that was the one match where I thought, oh, wow, man, that's actually kind of bad. But this match I had a lot of fun with. I enjoyed it. To me, it was a nice solid back and forth. Personally, I think Maxine, again, yes, is she green? Of course she's green. She's still new to this, but she keeps getting better every time. She's got better timing every week. Were there a couple of weird things in here? Sure, but I don't think they were all on Maxine. Some things I saw were down to Becky's timing being too fast for Maxine's reaction, as in there was a point where Maxine went for the bicycle knee. Becky Lynch bit down 3 seconds earlier before Maxine had even turned around and just sat there and waited. Awkward things like that. Or Maxine going for that spinning roundhouse back heel kick, but she's so tall, her leg actually went over Becky's head, and Becky still sold it either way. But the finish came where Maxine had Becky down for the 3. Unfortunately, too close to the ropes. Again, that rookie not being aware of that ring awareness. And it was Natalya who threw Becky's leg up on the bottom rope. And what I thought was bullshit, because if you look at the replay, how the fuck did the ref even see that leg from where he was positioned, blocked by Maxine's head and hair? So he just stopped midway because he knew the spot was coming and called it anyway. I thought that was dumb. I also did not care for Natalya trying to heal up her best when I can't take Natalya seriously. WWE's made it very clear for the last 15 years, I can't take a goddamn thing about Natalya seriously, whether it's a gimmick about her farting or a gimmick about her BDSM. But I thought this was dumb. And then to damn near no heat, except for the excitement of Maxine fighting back at the end of the match, Natalya tries to beat down on Maxine over and over again in a segment that went way too long. Boys, what did you think?
To be honest, as soon as I saw Natalya backstage in the backstage segment, I knew that she was gonna turn heel. I mean, like, oh, I'm gonna be in your corner just to make sure nothing happens like they did last week. Yeah, you would be the one thing that happened last week, except not. But you get my point. The match was okay, but just the fact that I knew that the Natalya heel turn, if you can even call it that, because where the fuck has she been since I don't know when, but the fact that you can even call it a heel turn is weird. But the heel turn ruined it for me. So yeah, not a lot of thoughts other than that on the match.
The match itself for me was fine. It's a Becky match with Maxine. Overall, Maxine did great. So did Becky. Natalya brought this match down for me simply because of the fact that as soon as I saw her in gear in the back, I knew something was happening. She didn't have to open her mouth. She didn't have to do anything. I saw her moving in gear and said, well, something's going to happen, isn't it?
That long linger on her face when the camera panned away backstage, I was like, oh, Maxine's fucked.
Yeah. And hopefully this means that this isn't a heel turn. It's a character turn. The IWC doesn't agree on much, but there is one thing that the majority of us absolutely do agree on. We do not need Natalya. Natalya herself needs a character turn. And who do we want more than anything else? Natty motherfucking Neidhart. That is who we want. We don't want this goofy version of Natalya. We want Natty. And it seems like with Maxine, that might be what we're getting.
It's just a shame they had to wait until she turned 43 and had 15 comebacks to actually be like, now we'll try.
Yeah, not only that, but they're putting her in a feud with Maxine Dupree, which is it's just getting started, but it just went to 0 to 100 like out of nowhere with like no reason. I'm sure we'll get an explanation for it next week, but it's like, weren't you training with this girl to make her better, and you haven't been on TV because you've been training Maxine, and then you come back and then you're mad at her now? So it's like, what the fuck happened here?
Guarantee you that's the reasoning. She thinks that she's in her own heel way. She's still helping Maxine. She's toughening her up. What was she screaming at her, Snug? You still haven't learned. You're never gonna learn. And to her, she's her teacher.
I just don't see this going anywhere, unfortunately. Like, they try to put a lot of heat on Natty by beating up on Maxine Dupree, and like, I didn't really get that feeling that the people really cared. I mean, I know I didn't.
They cared more when Maxine was punching back. Then they started popping. They didn't give a fuck for Natty.
Yeah,
and that's just because they haven't been told. They've been told since 2009 that you can't fucking hit your horse to the girl because WWE is never going to book her seriously.
Yeah, and I had that same feeling, that you guys all had when I saw Natty in the back, because I think it's safe to say that they booked themselves into a corner, because this is the only out possible at this point for Maxine Dupree to lose the championship or to not win tonight versus Becky Lynch, because she just lost it to Becky Lynch. This title has been flip-flopped so many times, it feels like. They've wrestled each other what feels like 800 times, but Mr. Blood said it was 6 times already. And I'm like, they're not going to put it back on Maxine Dupree, not this soon. Oh, Natty's here. Well, there's her out. Natty's going to have to turn. It's the only, unless AJ Styles by some miracle shows up in Ireland for whatever reason. AJ Lee, my bad. AJ Styles, Dragon Lee, what the fuck. But, yeah, man. And then they do the finish, and it's just like a fucking fart in church. It's just dead fucking silence. Like, no one gave a fuck about it, and it was just
the thing that sucks too. The thing that sucks is it's also kind of on us fans, right? I feel like sometimes we're too smart for our own good. We're too in the know of our own good, because our whole thing is that we break shows down. We're all wise to the business. I used to be a wrestler. Snug, you've been talking about it for 3 fucking plus years. Boys, you've been watching it and listening to us. And you both have your own intelligence to it. And sometimes you just kind of get too wise to the business that the slightest thing that you've seen a million times, like the camera lingering too long on Natty, staring at Maxine walk away. It's just a dead giveaway to guys like us, you know? And it's like, it automatically makes you not buy into Maxine's ability to beat the odds, because you're like, there's your Trojan horse right there. And there's no way that they would do that if they didn't plan on Natalya screwing her. Now, the benefit of this is that it protected Maxine in the finish. That's good. It also kept the title on Becky so she can defend it against AJ Lee, most likely next. That's also good. So you have a future match setup that people really want to see. You still protect the star you're trying to make. And now you're going to pair her with a veteran in a feud, just like you did with Becky, to help keep smoothing out those edges with Maxine. So even though it has positives in the conclusion, it's just a shame that it was at the cost of a moment that could have been bigger had it been built up better.
Yeah, I mean, I do agree with most of what you said, Blood, about how, you know, we just watched the shit way too much to not read between the lines. But also, now I'm just speaking for myself. I watched this shit too much to the point where I know where I can be like, all right, I'm putting down my, you know, my mark glasses down and just watch the wrestling and enjoy it and get lost in the moment. And this wasn't one of those times for me, because again, we haven't seen Natty in I don't know how long. You know, why should we care? And then the match was it was a worked match. It didn't feel like a fight to me. It just felt like, you know, these two women are going through the things that they planned, right? So they had this finish planned out, and the match was supposed to lead into that finish, and it's supposed to build up to the finish, and it was supposed to be the big reveal. Oh my God, Natty turned. But the way that they did the match leading up to it, I think is what ruined that finish for me, because it's like,
it felt like they were just trying to get through the match to get to the turn, because they spent like 5 minutes on that turn, bro, like 5 or 6. It was an overly long after match segment. Like, Natalya beats on her, walks up, poses, comes back, beats on her more. Camera shifted to commentary. They start talking about something else. And then Michael Cole goes, oh, she's going back at her in the ring. And then the camera's trying to get back to the ring. And then she's still going. And I'm like, dude, we get it. Next segment, please. Fuck.
Yeah, the match, and this is the last thing I'm going to say about the match. The match to me was just too clean. I'm like, these women have been fighting, wrestling. They've been at each other's throats for the past few months, and they're just having like a regular ass wrestling match. I'm like, where's the fire? Where's the hate? Like,
yeah,
I don't know. It was just
you know what? You're not wrong, and I'm a massive defender of Maxine. To me, it's actually a compliment for you to say that it was just too smooth, because that to me means Maxine's getting better. But that also means that these girls do have chemistry, and at least their Maxine thing is working. And that's only a benefit for building new stars in the future. But I digress. We can all agree Natalya kind of took the wind out of the sails on everything revolving around this.
All right. I got to talk about this backstage, this interview that took place during commercial break, because I had no fucking idea that El Grande Americano spoke perfect fucking English. Mind blown. My God. You learn something new every day, don't you, fellas? Like, this guy can do it all. He's a great luchador. He's good looking. He's a legend. And he's bilingual. Fucking insane. Did you guys watch this amazing interview?
You know what else is bilingual, Snug? The middle finger. Go fuck yourself. When it came down to it, you know what else is crazy about El Grande Americano? I don't think I've ever heard a Mexican in my life speak with a German accent. So that was crazy, right? Like, wow. I didn't know how close Germany was to Mexico. But God, man, that's just me failing clearly 4th grade geography. You know what else is crazy? I have never seen a Mexican with skin that white. that Caucasian. That's crazy. I think, God, are we sure he's Mexican? Maybe El Grande Americano is Cuban.
Hey, there's white people in Mexico with colored eyes and blonde hair. I have you know.
You're right, but we don't call them Mexican.
They are Mexican though.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, it's a real thing.
It's crazy. I call them colonized. But when it comes down to it, it is what it is. It was what it was. Some crazy, the Ludwig Kaiser. To me, he's always been a great promo. He's always entertaining, no matter if he's under that mask or out of it. I did hear in the news though that I wanted to bring up about Ludwig Kaiser as El Grande. He had a match with Vikingo a day or so ago, or a couple days ago. And there was a part that he had in the match where he got extremely angry at Vikingo, because Vikingo was actually wrestling very stiff and very dangerous with him and almost injured Ludwig Kaiser. He was stomping on his neck and kicking him very hard in the back to the point where Ludwig got so mad, he cussed him out in proper Spanish, but then yelled at the referee, tell him to back off my neck. And then the ref told him, and then he hit El Grande, aka Ludwig, in the neck even harder. And Ludwig almost lost his shit. So when I heard about what happened to Javon later, I was like, bro, yo, I'm getting a little nervous. Maybe there's some bad luck surrounding this mask, bro, because, Chad Wart, injured. Ludwig's in it, almost gets injured. Tonight, Javon injured. So I'm like,
Yeah, that was a crazy, crazy moment. I don't think Grande Americano realized how close the camera was to him in that corner, where he was like, tell him to be careful with my neck, for fuck's sake. And then he realized the camera was right there. And then he goes back to character. He's like, hey, chinga tu madre, and starts cussing in Spanish.
Speaking of camera and stuff, a lot of weird fuck ups tonight with the crew. Adam Pearce walking down the hall being followed by Paul Heyman. Full blown boom. The boom mic just drops completely into frame. Almost bops Paul Heyman on the fucking head. They shouted tonight, while backstage, almost blew out the fucking microphone backstage. I was like, what is going on tonight?
Not just tonight, dude. WWE is having a rough week, dude. Did you guys see that AEW fucking image with Dominic Mysterio too?
Yeah, the AI. Yes, heard about that in the news this morning on Wrestle Talk. I was like, what the fuck out of here?
Somebody's getting fired, bro. Or a few people are getting fired in the WWE.
Bro, there are two things you gotta look. Hear me now. Clip this later. There are two things you need to watch out with, those of you who love using AI. In this case, with WWE accidentally putting an AEW logo on a WWE world title with a WWE superstar holding it. Two things you need to check with AI. How many fingers the fucking guy in the picture has, and check the spelling of the fucking writing in your images. Because AI does not know how the fuck to count digits and doesn't know how to fucking spell words either. Because that is not good.
That was crazy. I was like, nah, someone made this shit up, right? And then I went back, I saw the clip, and I was like, damn.
Oh, someone got in big trouble.
That's fucking funny.
I know you didn't just promote our biggest competitor on one of our titles with one of our biggest superstars holding it and then post it on our socials. Oh, someone's in big fucking trouble.
Damn, man. That's funny. All right, you guys. Tommy Toxic, any comments on the greatest luchador in the world of all time in the history of Lucha Libre ever?
Fuck you.
Yeah, fuck off, Snug. But overall, my comments on this is very simple. As soon as all three of them decided to speak fluent fucking English, you knew exactly who the hell they were. As soon as they started speaking English, I'm like, well, Ludwig Kaiser, Pete Dunne, fucking Tyler Bate.
I love
all three of them right there.
I love it because one of them's actually proper English. Pete Dunne's fucking British. So, I
don't know, man. It sounded pretty Mexican to me.
No,
I would know. I'm one of them. I can tell you by experience.
I'm deaf in my right ear, Snug, from a punctured or a perforated eardrum, and I heard that shit better than you clearly.
Well, that explains a lot.
And I did see the Dominic Mysterio picture and all of that, and I saw a meme that says that Dominic is so good that he held the AEW World Title without even competing for it.
He really is the greatest Mysterio.
Oh my God! What other Mysterio has held the AEW title?
Oh my
besides
gosh!
Dom?
If he couldn't get in trouble for mentioning their company on socials, he would heal the shit out of that. I would love it.
There was also a report that there was like some promotion. I can't remember which promotion it was. MJF was the main event, the AEW World Champion. He defended the AEW World title, and one of the opening matches was a WWE ID Championship. So it was like the first promotion to have a WWE title and AEW title in the same card, which is pretty crazy how all this happened like in the same weekend or whatever.
I wonder how WWE reacted to that.
Not good, I'm willing to bet. All right, you guys. Speaking of luchadors, we had a luchador all-star team, Rey Mysterio, Penta, which by the way, just recently celebrated his 1-year anniversary since his WWE Raw debut, which I want to get into more probably in our one-on-one on Thursday with myself and Mr. Blood to kind of go over, relive some of Penta's greatest moments and go over his career and stuff like that. So yeah, 1 year of Penta in the WWE officially. And he teamed up with Rey and Dragon Lee to face the Vision, Bronson Reed, Logan Paul, and Austin Theory. And man, was this match a fucking match. I mean, we had the high-flying stuff with the luchadors. You know, the Vision was the heelish team, you know, filled with heat, a lot of, you know, cheating. The end of the match had some interesting gaga there with Adam Pearce was sitting ringside to make sure that the Vision didn't get out of hand, but they still found a way to do it. And to make things even better, Rey Mysterio did a little bit of lie, cheating, and stealing like his old buddy Eddie Guerrero knows how to do best. Logan Paul tries to pull out the brass knuckles. Adam Pearce catches him. Rey Mysterio gets his hands on him, hits Logan Paul, and I believe it was Penta. Yeah, Penta hit his Canadian Destroyer on Austin Theory, and he got the win 1-2-3 for his team. Absolutely amazing.
Well, correction, it was the Austin Theory who got cold cocked by the brass knucks. And then he ate the Canadian Destroyer right off of that. Real quick thing, though, has nothing to do with the match. But the moment you mentioned Penta, I had one thought. Where the fuck is Rusev? Just wondering. I feel like I haven't seen him in like 3 months. Anyway, because we were talking about Penta's biggest moments, he had a whole ass feud with Rusev like last summer. So yeah, where's Rusev? Starting to get that AEW treatment, I see. But when it came down to it, match was great. There were moments that I felt like they were all a little perhaps overzealous. Saw a couple of things there that were almost botches, very near mistakes. A couple of things between Logan Paul and Dragon Lee, Logan Paul and Penta, where Logan seemed to kind of be out of position or seemed like he almost forgot what he was supposed to do next. But other than that, they cleaned up pretty nice. High octane shit. 3 of the greatest luchadors, lucha libre on the planet in one match against 3 of the biggest up-and-comers that professional wrestling has seen in a long time. What I thought was great, Austin Theory, top fucking marks. He looked amazing in this match. Logan always, you know, never ceases to amaze and surprise, no matter how much you want to hate his ass. I thought Bronson Reed, you know, it's Bronson fucking Reed. He's great. But I was surprised that they gave the win to the Lucha Libre. I was like, really? So you telling me that these guys can't win unless Bron Breakker's around? That's what I picked up as a fan. Watching, thinking, this team that's been running roughshod loses to a group of guys who were friends but have never tag teamed together as a trio before, lose to a unit that's been moving as a team for a while, even with the inclusion of Austin Theory. Austin's been around for a minute. It's not like he's some newbie. And I really thought, wow, you really had Team Ray go over on the vision. All I can think is, what is Bron Breakker going to think about this next week? That you guys can't cut it unless I'm around.
Correction to both of you. It's not Canadian Destroyer that Penta does. It's the Mexican Destroyer that he does. But anyways, fuck you. Fuck, I don't even know what I was going to say. The match was amazing. No complaints. No, like, positive things to say about it. Well, that's kind of stupid now that I say that. But all positive things to say about it. No negatives. I do like, there's two pairs of people in this match that I do like seeing work together, and that's Ray and Bronson and Penta. Wait, no, Dragon Lee and Logan. I like seeing them two working, or those two pairs of people working with each other. But no complaints about the match. It was a match, obviously. So yeah, no complaints.
Yeah, I absolutely love this match. Once again, Adam Pearce proving that he is definitely not a bitch whatsoever. He's over here facing off with Paul Heyman, basically arguing with him all the way to the back. So he is once again proving that he is not that bitch whatsoever. He is not a bitch at all. He is just that damn good. But there's one thing. Only one. The one thing that my brain kind of went, hey, look, that's a dangerous spot, is that Mexican Destroyer. It was done perfectly, but the problem, and I get what Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston was going for back when they had a problem with it, with how low he did it, that in itself is a very dangerous spot that low, because of how quick he had to tuck his chin in. Because if he didn't get it fast enough, paralyzed. Real damn quick.
Are you confusing the Canadian or the Mexican Destroyer with when he hit Austin with the Penta Driver? Because that's where I thought he almost broke Austin's neck.
Yeah, that's the spot that I was confusing it with. But still, that one spot, it was so quick. I'm like, oh, is Theory good? Because it looks like he just snapped his neck in half.
Yeah, that I did notice that too. Yeah, but I think if anyone's going to be taking those moves that knows how to do them really, really well is Austin Theory, because his work in the ring is just amazing. So I was kind of worried there, but not as much, just because it's Theory. Like he's amazing. I also got to point out, just really quick before we move on, Rey Mysterio looked amazing in this match. Like, we've seen Rey Mysterio have matches here and there, but nothing like this, not in a while, at least not that I can remember. I mean, he was doing moonsaults off the ropes. Like, he was all over the place. Like, he really kept up with these young guys, man, and I was really fucking impressed by that. Dude is almost 50.
He was top form tonight, man. I mean, you wouldn't even know the guy's I've had surgery 5 times in my left knee. You wouldn't even know. You remember those old WWE Don't Try This at Homes? I've had surgery 5 times in my left knee. He's had it like 7 or 8 times now. And the dude still moves like that. It's crazy.
Yeah, every now and then he does. Like, he doesn't do it every single match, but he really brought it tonight, man. That was dope.
I do remember what in the world that I forgot and it slipped my brain, which is welcome to another segment we like to call Whatever We Can Do to Keep Penta Away from His Fucking Brother. Come on. Literally anything they can do to keep Penta away from Ray Phoenix, they're gonna do it because Ray Phoenix would have been still perfect in this spot.
Different brand, Tommy. Different brand.
We still need a fucking draft somehow.
I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. But let's move on. The women's tag team division. We heard from them, Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. They're going to challenge Liv Morgan, or I should say Liv Morgan and Roxanne are going to challenge Rhea and Io Saturday night's main event this weekend. And they had a segment to hype up the match where they came out to interrupt the big announcement that Rhea and Io both are going to be in the Women's Royal Rumble. Well, so is Liv and Roxanne. And, Liv and Roxanne come out. They try to, put that wedge between Rhea and Io. Oh, both of you guys are going to be in the Rumble? How is that going to work out? But, Liv and Roxanne are also going to be in the Rumble. So there you go. It's the same shit, right? So they had Raquel come out there and attack Rhea and Io. So Liv and Roxanne standing tall over the women's tag team champions. Thoughts on the announcement about these four women being in the Rumble and, the little angle that they did here before their big match this weekend?
My thoughts on this are what they were before. No fucking shit. Of course you're all going to be in the fucking Rumble. It's a 30-woman Rumble. How many women do you have on the roster between Raw and SmackDown? You got about 30, 35, and some people from NXT, TNA, like I said. Of course, these four are going to be in there. Why wouldn't they? They're some of the biggest stars that the brands have to offer. You need to feature them there. Otherwise, it's going to be mid-card and undercard fucking central. So again, didn't need you to fucking announce it and tell us. It's just a way to pad out the segment. And look, I said this last week. I'm going to really hammer this home this time. I love Rhea to death. That is my goth muscle mommy. I love Io Sky. That is my Japanese fucking princess of the sky.
Oh my God.
However,
fucking cringe.
Holy shit, did they make their pairing somewhat uncomfortable to watch. I get that you're fucking friends. I get that you're best friends. You've been friends for years. But even I have seen, look, when I grew up, my closest friends were girls because I have 4 older sisters. So I was friends with women more than I was with men. I spent a lot of time at the skate park around girls. Punk rock girls covered in tattoos, piercings. A lot of them would remind you of Rhea. You know what I never saw them do all the fucking time? Constantly touch each other, rub and caress each other's arms and stomachs, and then get on the rope. And then when Rhea's posing during their entrance, Io's over her on the ropes and just reaches down and takes her hand and just rubs it across Rhea's face like this. And I was just like, y'all gonna make out or what? Like, I get it. Rhea was like the dominatrix character a couple years ago. But we've never seen you say that like Io's her sub. So like, why are you guys overly touchy, overly smiley, constantly looking at each other like, like oh my fucking God. I'm like, I get it. You guys, you're cool with each other. You're friends. But it gets overly performative to the point where it almost looks fucking so fake that I'm like, I wonder if they're actually even friends backstage because they're trying real fucking hard out here to show us how much they like to be around each other. Always touching, always hugging, caressing each other's bodies. It's like, dude, it's weird. It's too much.
Question,
and I'm not homophobic. I love the LGBTQIA, massive supporter. But this is like in your face, overly fucking touchy for the sake of sex appeal, and it's weird.
Question, Blood. What's more cringier, that or the fucking acting between Asuka and Kairi Sane?
This is more cringy because at least with Asuka and Kairi, I understand they're Japanese first, so the way that they convey emotions to an American audience is not the same way a Western audience conveys emotions to themselves. So it's going to feel weird to you because that's not how you're used to seeing acting from Americans. So, but with this is like Io's just with her head, all this whipping and smiling, and with this squint eyes and point the lips and touch Rhea's face. And I'm just like, stop! You're fucking champions. What are you doing? If y'all wanna fucking do that shit, go back to the hotel room together.
Yeah, what Blood said about the first part, Adam. I mean, I'm not even gonna say anything about the other part. But yeah, of course, all five, because it was also announced that Raquel was going to be in there. Roxanne said me, Liv, and Raquel are going to be in the Rumble. So just clearing that up. But no shit, all five of them are going to be in there. I mean, they're the top stars on Raw, and then I mean you got your stars on SmackDown, and then I mean you obviously got to throw in some NXT, and then maybe some TNA or AAA or whatever you want to do. So yeah, no shit, you're gonna be in the Rumble.
It's like last year when it comes to the whole declaring themselves for the Rumble. This year, Cody does it first, and then everyone and their fucking mother does it. Last year, Cena does it first, and everyone and their fucking mother does it. It's just that. And when it comes to Rhea and Io, completely agree with absolutely everything that Blood said. Another cringy thing is the fact that Io's over here going, no one is ready for Rio. Like, why? Why, Io? I get it. You love being in a tag team with Rhea. Why are you randomly taking Asuka's thing and putting a combination of your two names in there? Just is weird.
All right, what was also weird was this next match, Javon Evans and the Grande Americano. This is the match where Javon Evans unfortunately suffered some type of injury that did not allow him to continue the match. I still do not know what the injury was because it was during a commercial break. I haven't seen any clips. At some point, Javon Evans did get injured, and the medic said he can't continue. Hopefully it's nothing serious, but from the beginning, this match had a weird feel to it. Like there was before the commercial break, as soon as a match starts, they usually go like 2 minutes and then they go into commercial break. And in those first 2 minutes, like there was a couple moments where it was like off, just odd. Like there was a spot where El Grande Americano throws Javon Evans over the top rope. Javon Evans lands on the apron, and they try to do the thing where one of them goes through the middle rope, to hit his opponent like on the stomach, right? I'm not sure what that's called, Mr. Blood. You could probably explain it better than that, but they both went to the middle rope at the same time, and they like hit each other's heads. They bumped heads. And so there was a lot of miscommunication in those first couple minutes of the match. I'm like, what the hell? I'm used to seeing matches with at least Javon Evans where it's like boom, boom, like bouncing and fast pace and everything looks crisp and clean and smooth and everything. And then this match started off weird. So I guess I'm not surprised, I hate to say it, about this injury. I mean, El Grande Americano also just wrestled in Mexico 2 days ago. So he just, he had a fucking crazy ass main event. He flies over across the fucking world, across the ocean to Ireland. I don't know what time it is over there. So I'm like, this was probably like tired or jet lag. I don't know. But this match was just off from the jump.
I don't think it was off from the jump per se. In fact, I thought that we saw way more out of Javon with El Grande than we got to see between him and who was it last week, Ryo or whoever he faced, and or the blue one, I don't fucking know, but I thought that Bravo, but I thought that Javon actually, like with El Grande, he had really good chemistry off the bat, I thought. I saw a lot of great shit in those first several minutes. Yeah, the meeting of the minds thing, as Corey Graves said when they hit each other's heads, part of it looked purposeful. The other part of it looked like a mistake. Usually what would happen is you'd be on the ropes. A guy's going to try to shoulder check you on the ropes to keep you from jumping over to stop you. And then he's going to grab you on the ropes. But it looked like Javon was trying to gut check him at the same time that El Grande thought to gut check. Because remember, not every match, guys, is spot for spot, call for call ahead of time rehearsed. A lot of times it's just, let's go in the ring and talk about it. We have spots that we need to hit, that we know we got to hit, and then we'll just call everything else on the fly in the ring. That's how most wrestling matches are done. But what sucks is the injury. We come back from commercial break, and you spoiled it for me, actually, when because you saw the show before I did. You posted on the socials for me to collab with you, and I was like, what do you mean he's fucking injured? And before I ever watched the show. So the match for me off the rip was already kind of ruined because I'm just waiting for this to happen. And then we go to commercial, we come back after 3 minutes of ads, and then, oh, he's already injured. But I think I know what the shoulder or what the injury was. It was his shoulder. Because when he's walking out, he's holding his arm, he's doing this, holding an arm down, and as he's walking with the ref, he keeps pushing in here. Right in here. He kept tapping in here. And when he did it, he kept wincing. And I think what happened is I think he might have possibly dislocated his shoulder, or he might have separated it. I'm hoping he didn't tear anything. I'm hoping it's hey, pop it back in, take some pain meds, take a week or two off, and you'll be back to normal. And I'm hoping it's not the pec, but he's pushing in where the joint is in the groove of the shoulder. So I'm hoping it's something minor. So Javon Evans from Snug Wrestling, we do wish you a speedy recovery because no one likes to see anybody get injured, but especially when you're this hot, this up and coming, and this fresh, just a couple weeks into your main roster debut, man. It can be heartbreaking. So well wishes to you, brother, because you're doing great. You really are.
Man, and it has to be whenever he gets some new gear. I mean, don't get me wrong. I do like that purple and green gear, but man, the gear was fire, except for the shirt. I hate the shirt. Hate it. But this reminds me of when he got injured the first time in NXT when dumbass Ethan Page broke his jaw. So, yeah. And that was pretty boring. That's whenever I watch NXT consistently. Now I only watch if there's interesting shit. But it's just, I don't know. It just felt boring without him. And I'm afraid that it's going to be like this now that he's out. I mean, yeah, I hope it's nothing serious. But I mean, the one thing that kept rushing back to my mind was, oh God, don't be the peg. It can't, I hope it is not the peg because I'm not ready for him to be out that long. So get well soon, Javon.
Yeah, God, I hope it's not the packet. He was kind of going after his shoulder, so hopefully that's it, and it's just him being out for a couple of weeks. Hopefully he's in the Rumble if it is within that 1 week, but I don't know. But if it's the pec, I'm a little bit upset about that because if it is the pec, and if something happened with that, he could be as long as out as Cody was.
Almost a year.
Tore his pec off the bone.
Yeah, if it's the shoulder, you're talking. If he's got the same injury that Liv had, that fucking Seth had, I mean, we're talking 4 to 6 months. So really hoping that's not the case. Because you know how WWE gets, man. You're fresh up and coming. You just hit the roster. They got all these plans where you get injured. All of a sudden, they get cold feet on you, and then you never recover. That's exactly what happened to Finn Bálor. And what was that? Shoulder injury. So it's please God, no.
And of course, it had to be right around Rumble, where odds are that man was going to be in the top 4, top 5 left in that Rumble. I had a feeling that if this didn't happen, then he absolutely would have ended up finishing as one of the last people out of that ring.
Yeah, man, bad fucking timing, dude. This is right at the start, when you're just starting to pick up steam in the main roster, getting all this shine, getting pushed and doing, you know, it just sucks, man. It's just really unfortunate, man. So hopefully, hopefully it's nothing serious. Hopefully he comes back and makes it in time for Rumble. Cause yeah, it would be cool to see Javon Evans at the Royal Rumble for sure, man. I think that would be fun to see him there, but we'll see what happens with that. We'll keep a close eye on good old Javon. And let's go to the main event. The hometown hero, Finn Bálor versus CM Punk World Heavyweight Championship on the line. Finn Bálor got the big hometown hero welcome, man. The entrance was amazing. They gave him his old theme old theme song. So old school Finn is back. And it felt good, man, to see this entrance. They really lit up the joint. The people in the arena loved it. It had that big fight feel, like I kind of felt like I was watching boxing for a second there, like, waiting for the guy that everyone's there to see, like I don't know, Canelo Alvarez type feel, like, oh, everyone's waiting for him and everyone's so excited for him. And that's what it felt like here. And I thought that was so cool for Finn Bálor, Yeah, this is a Finn Bálor that we haven't seen in a long time. The match was amazing. Although, yes, we all wanted to see Finn Bálor win this. It made sense for CM Punk to retain, and he did. Finn Bálor had a few false finishes there. Great main event, man. Great match, and it was cool to see again a Finn Bálor that we haven't seen in a long time. This is the Finn Bálor that I wish we can see all the time, but unfortunately, that's not the case. But I thought it was a great main event.
Yeah, man, this was his first world title, contendership, since Damian was champion the year before last year. I was so excited for this because I've been a big Bálor fan for a long time. I've consistently said if I look that good in my fucking 40s, I have done something right. And for a guy who's 45 fucking years old, I mean, the man moves, wrestles, looks, how crisp he was. Just his entrance. I was wondering what they were going to do. Were they going to bring back the demon entrance for one night? When they brought out the old theme and the lights and the bomb, I was like, oh, this is fucking peak. God damn it. But what I really noticed just how good he was, it wasn't even in the match that I first thought that. When he's on the rope facing the crowd and he runs and so gracefully, effortlessly clears the entire top rope to the top turnbuckle, puts his leg in position in one fucking full movement to lean down and do the whole thing off the ropes. I was like, bro, this man is 45 and he's like a cat. This man moves like a fucking cat. I was already that alone just made me so much more hype. It's so small, but I was so excited for what I was about to watch. And this match, to me, y'all say, oh, I'm glazed and oh, I'm overhyped and oh, it's recency bias. Fuck you. This, to me, was an instant classic. The crowd alone took this match from what could have been a 7 to a fucking straight up 10 because the crowd was hype the whole time. They were loud. They were raucous. The opening moments of the mat wrestling, that chain wrestling, that ground grappling, that technical wrestling y'all know I love so much was fucking superb. Back and forth, great near falls. And what a fucking sell on that final GTS. That shit looked impactful as fuck. And then I loved the sportsmanship after. Bálor not doing anything heel on fucking, CM Punk. He willingly let him help him up. They had a moment, they hugged, they fucking whispered, compliments to each other. And then Punk raising Bálor's hand in his hometown or his home country. I thought it was just chef's kiss, man. Chef's fucking kiss. I loved it. I loved every bit of it. So worth it.
The match is everything I thought it would be. Amazing. I mean, not even when I say this, I'm not even calling the match bad, but you could basically do that on WWE 2K25 and basically get the exact same thing, but a little different. But not disrespecting the match at all. It was amazing. Everything from Finn's new entrant, or the old entrance, I guess you could say, which they better keep that. They better not, that better not have just been a one-time thing like they did when he returned in NXT for NXT Homecoming. So he better keep that. But no bad things to say about the match. Everything was good from the sell to the final GTS to the sportsmanship at the end, even to the little interaction that they had like before they actually started going. But yeah, the match was amazing, perfect, chef's kiss, voila.
It was great. I still don't know how to feel about the ending, though. I love the fact that Punk retained and all of that. Business-wise, it makes sense. Here's my problem. Balor has always gotten the short end of the stick when it comes to singles title gold ever since he got injured with that Universal title run of one day. The only other gold that this man has held is tag gold. Match itself, fantastic, ended perfectly, all of that.
Incorrect.
But I don't care what fucking singles title it is. Give this man a singles title run. He absolutely deserves it, and it is long overdue.
Tommy, he had a title run 4 years ago. They mentioned that already. Remember, he was holding, I think, the US or the IC title right before he went into the Judgment Day with
I think it was
Edge.
the IC.
Yeah, right before he went in with Edge. Because when he got screwed out of the title, that's when he felt like a failure and they roped him into the Judgment Day, and that's what turned him heel.
That's right. This is proof that Edge's portion is kind of forgettable, at least to me, a little bit. But still, even with that, I still feel like he deserves more. I feel like this could have gone either way. Obviously, it went with Punk retaining, but I still would not mind a world title run with Finn Bálor. I really wouldn't.
Yeah, awesome main event. But before we get out of here, you guys, there was one thing that we have to talk about. The Bron Breakker situation, the suspension. We saw some backstage segments where, Paul Heyman was kind of threatening Adam Pearce, allegedly, but not really. You keep putting your hands on my guys. Paul Heyman was telling Adam Pearce, what's up with that, Paul Heyman mentioned something about you're going to receive a phone call from somebody. And as soon as he said that, Adam Pearce got a phone call. He answered the phone. And then the next segment that we see with Paul Heyman and Adam Pearce, completely attitude change from Adam Pearce, went from being really confident and pissed off to really reasonable and telling Paul Heyman, hey, next week, tell Bron Breakker to come back. We'll talk man to man. And Paul Heyman's like, yeah, after getting that phone call, I bet you want Bron Breakker back. So what do you guys think is going on here with this whole thing? Is Bron Breakker suspension going to get lifted, or what are you guys' thoughts on that?
I think that Bron Breakker suspension is going to get lifted for sure. I think obviously what we're all thinking, at the end of that tag match, we saw Paul Heyman over on the stairs, Kermit the Frog typing away on his fucking phone. And then next thing you know, they're backstage and all of a sudden Pearce is getting a phone call. So clearly Paul Heyman called in a favor or a chit to someone in higher up to get him back. I love that Adam Pearce was still standing 10 toes down all night, because it's funny that Paul Heyman will sit there and dog Pearce for putting his hands on my guys. All he did was rip an illegal foreign object out of one of your guys' hands. He's the general manager. He's responsible if someone gets injured. So he's got to do that, first off. And second off, Paul, you want to talk about all the times you put hands on guys in the ring, leg tripped them, grabbed them at the fucking ropes, pulled their hair. So I don't want to fucking hear it. Oh, how about low blowing CM Punk and fucking Roman Reigns at WrestleMania last year? So I don't want to hear about people who aren't fucking, active competitors getting involved in matches that they shouldn't be. But I think that we're still building to something like a match between Braun and Adam Pearce. I really do think we're getting that. Let's not forget, like we said, Adam Pearce, former NWA fucking champion. Okay, the guy was a great wrestler. And if you notice, he's still bigger than Bron Breakker. So I definitely think this could be leading to maybe a match between the two. Maybe Pearce gets cornered into it, and they think they're going to teach Pearce a lesson, but then Pearce actually shows out. But yeah, those are my thoughts.
I have a crazy theory, and my God, would it be fire if they did this? So I think the reason why Pierce is releasing the suspension, or going to try to release the suspension on Bron Breakker, is because someone is like, hey, you lift the suspension, I'll take care of him. And I think that someone is Seth freaking Rollins. I would like it if Seth returned, and then we got Seth versus Braun at either Chamber or wherever, because I don't see him coming back right now, but I see the suspension getting released, and then either somewhere in between now and Chamber, Seth returns, and then we get that match at Chamber.
Knowing the fact that it was Paul Heyman who was typing away, it makes me think of a question in my head. Does he still have contact with the final boss?
I don't know. Who knows who that could be? I mean, it could be Triple H. I don't know if the final boss would make sense in this situation.
Well,
or Seth Rollins.
How Paul Heyman was in the past when he was still with Roman all the way up until WrestleMania and all of that. He had two people on his phone on fucking speed dial. Call Roman Reigns. Call The Rock.
No, so, I get that, but like,
actually,
what if it's the final boss?
I got a better one for you. What if it wasn't executive at all? What if it was Brock Lesnar on the other end of that line threatening Adam? Rumble's right around the corner. How do we know Brock Lesnar's not popping up next week and declaring himself the Royal Rumble? But if Adam didn't do what Paul Heyman wanted, Brock was like, well, then you're going to deal with me.
We haven't seen him since War Games.
You think he's not going to be around for Mania season? Come on.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think it's gonna be something like it's Nick Khan or something like that, you know. But hey, we'll see. But yeah, crazy Monday Night Raw. That was the Monday Night Raw review with the Snug Wrestling Crew. Let's get up out of here, you guys.
Thank you guys for hanging out with us. That was the Monday Night Raw review. If you love kicking with us, you can do it every Monday and Friday night after Raw and SmackDown go off the air, respectively, on YouTube, Twitter, or X, whatever you want to call it, and Facebook Live for, of course, post-show reviews. And if you like bonus content, reaction content, hang out with us during the actual shows on our segments or on our actual socials for segment-to-segment live reactions from the host and creator and founder of Snug Wrestling, Edgar, where he does segment-to-segment to match reaction reviews. So go ahead and check that out on all of our socials. And, of course, you can kick it with us every Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, 8 o'clock Central for TikTok Live one-on-one 1 hour shows with myself, Mr. Blood, and the host of Snug Wrestling, Edgar, where we go over random or relevant wrestling topics and answer your fan questions live on TikTok Live. And, of course, mark your calendars, guys, because this upcoming Wednesday, we have predictions for this Saturday night's main event, the first one of 2026 taking place this Saturday. So hang out with us on Wednesday, again, on YouTube Live, Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, and Facebook Live. And next week, the following Wednesday, predictions for 2026's Royal Rumble. And finally, to support the podcast, head over to our TeePublic/Snug Wrestling, where you can pick up your Snug Wrestling merchandise. Boys, rep it to the camera. where we have over 100 designs representing our podcast, fun wrestling stuff that you can get across, tons of merchandise at your leisure, and then rep the podcast for whenever you're watching the show. So, guys, thank you so much. Until next time, stay safe, stay savage, and stay snug. And boys, that was one time for the one time. I said that was
Foley. One
One
word.
word. Yeah.